let's get started. We got a lot of stuff to do today. I am so excited. This is our first ever Resilient Retail workshop. We are talking with Dave and Val here. I'm going to let you guys introduce yourselves instead of me trying to do it for you. Val, we'll start with you. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
I'm Val Geisler. I run an email optimization agency called Fix My Churn. We work with subscription-based brands for the most part, and brands who are trying out subscription for their audience. So mostly consumables that we work with, but we have a t-shirt brand right now that we're working with. So yeah, it's fun. And I've been on both sides of email for years now, and I'm just super stoked to be here. Kristen and Dave both know I can talk about email for hours. So
yeah, as we all can. That's why I invited you guys, because we can just talk.
Daniel can't hear a thing. Oh wait, there's a couple people who can't hear a thing.
Oh, can't hear us.
Am I supposed to be hearing you speak? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ideally.
Here we go.
Oh,
here we go.
You have to enable it. There it is.
Tech problems.
We're good. I think we're good.
Every other person can hear us, so.
Okay, great. We're going to keep on rolling. Hopefully, if you can't hear us, you'll be able to hear us sometime soon. Or you can just watch us do a lot of crazy stuff. Dave, who are you? What do you do?
I am the Chief Marketing Officer at Privy. Privy is one of the top apps that you could use to help grow sales to your Shopify store if you're into that kind of thing. And I'm also a copywriting enthusiast. And so I'm thrilled to be here, especially with you two.
Yes, this is going to be fun. Us three know each other pretty well. So I think it's going to get a little goofy. I'm going to stop sharing the screen for now, because we're going to start with just a little bit of a conversation. Email marketing is a massive topic in and of itself. I also know that we have a lot of retailers in here who are probably pretty new at email marketing, just going digital kind of for the first time, trying to figure out how to do it. And then add on top of that, this crazy year of Black Friday, Cyber Monday, and now you're trying to compete with all these e-commerce brands that have done it for years, and you're trying to reach new customers and sell to your customers. So let's just start off with, why even email marketing? Why is it a channel that is so important, especially this year?
I always say that email is like the digital living room of your subscribers. So it's as close as you can get to walking in their house and talking to them. For as much as everybody says they hate email, everybody's sitting on the toilet checking their email. So, we are very intimate with our inboxes as consumers, and email is the best way to get right in front of them. And it's the most direct person to person kind of conversation you can have. A lot of people are like, hey, well, how's B2B different from B2C in email? And I always say it's the same. You're emailing a human. So I think it's the most human way you can communicate. And it's been around for a long time. It's not going anywhere.
Yeah, Dave, I think there's the conversation, and I'm even seeing it in the chat right now. A lot of people have been just bombarded with emails and sales emails. And so there's even this conversation that's happened before of like email's dying and it's dead and it's not the greatest channel to use. I think all of us disagree with that statement. Dave, on your side, how do you feel about those? What do you say to someone who's thinking in that kind of direction right now?
Say you're crazy. Email is the number one sales channel. It's because it's the only channel that you have in marketing that's literally like the make money channel. It is the only thing that if you have a list and you send out an offer to your list, you will instantly get sales back. There are very few other channels in marketing that do that. Plus, it's the channel that you own. And so you can have, a great audience on Instagram because you've done a really good job with content and influencers and whatever. But if you don't actually own the audience, you can't actually communicate with them on your terms. So I think it's so important to be able to have a list. And I think it's just a good topic that we like to come up with in marketing. I don't think email is ever going to go away. It's still the number one way that you're going to use to communicate with a brand. And that's where you want to be.
Yeah. It's a clickbait headline.
It is for sure. And Val, this is something you and I talk a lot about is, email has been before pretty bombardy and salesy, and there's a lot of people that do it that way and a lot of brands that do it that way, but there is a way to do email in a way that doesn't feel like, your inbox is flooded with flash sale, flash sale, flash sale, which we'll be getting into when we write these emails. But what is even like the mindset you should go into email marketing with so you don't end up being that brand?
Yeah, I should have worn my send emails, not blasts t-shirt. And back off because I'm marrying email. So, I think like, again, email is a human to human conversation. And if you are thinking about emails as blasts, I even have my clients rename their list. Like I'll go into a client's Klaviyo and see blast list, and we rename it, because if that's your mindset going into it, then that's the kind of emails you're going to produce. Don't send newsletters, send conversations. Talk to people, and you can still do that with your beautiful brand images, with all these, graphics that you've worked so hard on and spent lots of money on. But if you treat it like a conversation, the same way that, somebody says, "Hey, I like your shirt." And you're like, "Oh yeah, I picked it up at this boutique, last week. And it was really great. And they had this," you start to tell a story when you are sharing that information one-to-one. And that's what email is. There is not 10,000 people are not sitting down and opening your email and looking at it together. So
Right.
It is one person opening the email and reading it. So you have to think about that when you're building your emails.
I love that. I think it's like, it's so obvious too, when you get those emails, if it was just written, like if that was actually written to me, like they know me. I mean, Val, you always share those on Twitter and stuff. What are you drinking? Athletic Greens? What is that?
Yeah. Protein shake.
And I think it's so obvious. I think one little trick that I've found that can be really helpful is like, think of yourself. Every email that you send is like, you are the guide for that company. And so like, I'm trying to get in front of you, Val, because you're on my list. And I'm like, hey there, I'm the guide. I'm here to help you navigate whatever this thing is. Right. And so that might be like, I'm going to help tell our story. I'm going to help show you what products are available, how we do things here. I think, as opposed to think of it as a sales channel, but I'm reaching out to you and I'm trying to take you over here and I'm going to give you a tour. You go to a new city back when you could travel, and the best experience is like, you want to show up somewhere and have somebody tell you, hey, go to this place, go to this place, go to this place. I think that's exactly the type of relationship that you want to have with email.
Yeah, I love these points because I think it's invaluable to have this mindset going into email, and it's what'll make you stand out in the inbox, which, we're heading into Black Friday, Cyber Monday. It's honestly kind of already started. And then, going all the way through the holiday sales season, it's going to be a lot longer now, especially for anybody in retail, because who doesn't have to go buy like a last minute gift because you're like, oh crap, I forgot about this person. What role does email play in this crazy holiday sales season that's coming, and why is it so important to lock down this channel right now?
Email is how your customers remember you. If they think at the last minute, oh man, I need to go get a pair of slippers for my mom before I go over to her house for Christmas, or before I drop them on her front porch and wave from a distance.
Yeah.
You showing up in their inbox and reminding them about the scarves and slippers and accessories that your shop sells and what your store hours are and how they can get those items saves them and you from a trip to a big box store or a Amazon order and get it in a couple days, hopefully. But I think it allows you to stay front and center with your customers. And we are, as human beings, default to our habits, and our habits have largely become these big stores. And we have the opportunity as retailers to change those habits with our consumers.
Yeah, I love that. Dave, what have you been seeing kind of leading up to the holidays? What should we be looking for in terms of email? Are there trends you're looking at? Are there expectations people can have going into this season? Any tips?
My inbox has been, it's crazy. Like forget even being on this webinar, as a person, it's like everybody's trying to jump the gun on the pre-Black Friday, Cyber Monday sale. And so there's like pre-sales about the sales. And so I think like, to me, marketing is about like understanding what's happening and adjusting to that. And so right now, if you're doing marketing for your brand or trying to think about your offer, like, I would still be reevaluating my strategy, because it's like, now I know that it's going to be nuts out there. There's so much noise in the inbox. And so like, how can I tweak my messaging where I see everybody right now is like sale, 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 sale. What can I, like, I'm always trying to find the gaps. Like, and so what can I do to stack the deck to get attention in that world? And so I think you have to understand, especially if you play in a specific vertical, let's say, like, what are the companies, that other people are shopping with around you? What are they doing? And, are you on their list? Are you seeing what they're putting out? And how can you, separate yourself from all that noise that's going out right now? That's what I would be thinking about.
Yeah, I love that. And that, that brings us perfectly into why we're all here, is to think about exactly what Dave just said. And we are going to write some emails. So first, I am going to show you guys, and Val and Dave here, the fake brand that we will be writing emails for. So we're going to use this company. Let me share my screen. All right, we are looking at our store for today, which is called Basecamp Dog. If you guys have listened to the podcast, if you know me at all, I love dogs, and I have 3 of them of my own. So that is what this whole store is about. All right, so we are seeing, get out and give back. We are dog lovers. Looks like we sell some adventure gear. We've got snow boots, bandanas for camp, a raincoat that costs $0 because it's just so cute on Finn, isn't it? We've got this sleeping bag. We've got this Basecamp blanket. So it really looks like we're selling, dog apparel, dog equipment to get out, go out, and just spoil your dog like I obviously like to do. And yes, these are my dogs, everybody. We also have a store, our very own Basecamp right in Colorado Springs. You can come in right now with your masks and experience the one-of-a-kind store experience. You get the one-on-one. Your dog can be outfitted with things. You can come talk about what kind of adventures you do with your dog and what you need. But we've also got a little bit of a coffee shop right now that's open for to-go orders only. And of course, pup cups. Always pup cups. You can see we're a very visual brand, and we love my dogs. So we are going to get now into actually writing 4 emails that are going to make you money this holiday season. So just to review some store facts with everybody, Basecamp Dog opened in 2017, founded by my alter ego, Crispy LaPants, and my 3 dog co-owners. We are located in downtown Colorado Springs. All year round, 20% of profits are donated to local shelters. Currently in the store, only 5 customers are allowed at a time because we are not that big, and masks are required. We opened up our online shop in March of 2020, right at the beginning of COVID. We had to adjust and pivot online. We are also right now offering free local delivery, curbside pickup, and free US shipping on orders above $60. And our holiday sale for the entire season is 20% off entire site-wide with the code WAGTAILS through December 18th, before the holiday season. So there are our facts that we're going to line up, and now we are going to let the experts kind of come in and start workshopping on some emails. The first email we're going to write is a welcome email. So you will see on our store, there is a newsletter opt-in at the bottom. Or if somebody had come into the store, we also gather their information there so we can send them receipts and anything we want and connect with them after. So when somebody comes into a newsletter opt-in to our welcome sequence, we are going to write an email that gets them into the conversation right away. So we're going to start with this one. I will let you guys start typing. Feel free to come off mute if you want to kind of talk as you write.
Oh, I don't even have it pulled up. I was just going to talk. I'm going to talk through it. So let's see how that goes.
Yeah, you talk through it.
Okay. So I think to me, the welcome email is the most important email that you're going to send, right? Because somebody's usually signing up to join your list, not to necessarily buy something. And so what is that first interaction? And this could be the email that you already have going out. What I like to do in the welcome email though is like also have something be relevant to what's going on right now. And so it might be like, welcome, here's who we are, here's our story, here's who we are as our brand, here's our mission, here's why we exist. Set expectations for what they're going to get by being on this list. So like, because you're now a, Basecamp Dog subscriber, you'll get, 2 emails a week, blah, 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 blah. But then you can have something that says like, PS, 2 weeks from now or whatever, to take the date out so it's evergreen, is our biggest sale of the year for Black Friday, Cyber Monday. And you can actually start to either work in your offer that way, build up a waiting list. So click here to be notified, like, click here to be on the pre-sale list. There's a million different plays. And I'm trying to stress on this because I think this is an email that I call like a free money email, which is like, it's going out anyway. It's not going to piss anybody off. It's your welcome email. Like, you should use it as an opportunity to sell. Here's an example. I have this little like marketing group that I do, and I created a course a long time ago. The first email someone gets after they join the group is that course. That thing has now sold, 10, 20, 30 copies every single week because it's just there. It's an email that's already going out. And so like, it's just, you don't want to sell right off the bat in this email, but you're missing a huge opportunity if you don't at least promote something in that first email.
Sorry, guys.
Sorry, I'm typing.
My headphones died, so I had to do a little.
No, this is great. Val, keep typing. I think I know where you're going. I can.
Yeah. So for me with the welcome email, one, I want to give you guys a heads up that welcome to and then your store name is the most overused welcome email ever. So nix that. Come up with something that helps your company stand out. Also, that subject line is that gives me the entirety of the email, so I have no reason to open it up.
Yeah.
Welcome emails are super important to get opens and clicks on and even replies to, because it, from a technical email standpoint, it tells the inbox of your subscriber that they want your emails, and it will continue to drop them in that main inbox. It'll keep them out of spam or promotions folders. So welcome emails are super important. My kid doesn't want to do her math or homework. Okay. So I think, it's not only important to bring that relevance, but also to be really unique in your welcome email. You can go as corny or kitschy as you want, depending on your brand, or you can be very formal. It doesn't matter, but just stay away from the like welcome to. This is a dog brand, so I love, using dog related words here, like fetch your discount. If you're offering a discount when they sign up, then you want to make sure that you're delivering on that promise in the welcome email. I would do this email from the owner or even from one of the dogs. So I started writing the copy as one of the shop dogs. And I think, that's a really fun way to connect with your subscribers, is to go super personal. And if you have something like a shop dog, or there's a craft store in Columbus that has a cat who's like the mascot of the store, and he's there, he lives at the store. So, there's a lot of things that he brings in, he is in the brand. So you want to infuse that as much as possible. The copy does need to deliver on your promise, whatever you promised in your opt-in. So on your website, and preferably your opt-in in the store is the same as the website, so you're not trying to segment out and do crazy things from the beginning. But deliver on that opt-in promise, give a real welcome, be human, write this email, be human or be dog. Write this email like you're writing it to a friend who has just been introduced to your brand. Yeah. The other thing I like to do in a welcome email is ask for them to reply. So in this one, I would say, like, can you share a picture of your dog? Because who doesn't want to share a picture of their dog? Maybe you say like, hey, we're creating a virtual page on our website with all of our guest dogs, like everyone who shops with us, their dogs, and we want to include yours. Can you please reply with a picture of your dog and their name, something about them? And I guarantee you, as a dog owner with a dog store, you can get some replies with that. And that reply holds a lot of weight for the inbox. Opens and clicks are very important as well, but replying is like, that's real engagement. Wow. That it shows intent to interact with these emails. So welcome emails do a lot more than just deliver a coupon code.
Yes. And I love all of these tips because we talk about this a lot on the podcast. There's this strength in retail that when somebody comes into your store, you have these one-on-one conversations all the time. And so if you think about these welcome emails as that kind of situation where you're actually talking to someone one-on-one as if they had just walked into your store and you are welcoming them. I am so excited to read this copy. I've been trying not to watch Dave right over there because I love it so much. One other thing I wanted to say about the welcome email, something that has helped a lot of brands that I've talked to on this is thinking about these emails as you would in a dating situation. So if you just went on a first date with somebody, or you just swiped left and you guys matched, or right, I don't know, I'm married, guys. You matched on Tinder or matched on Bumble, that first message you send is really important. And you're not going to just go like, hey, I want to take you home tonight. Like, you're not going to go for the final sale right away, right? You're going to foster a relationship, try to connect with them, let them know who you are. And so this is that email that we are writing right now.
Yeah, let me talk through this. So like Val was just writing and I just ran with it and I kind of like took some of her advice while we did. So where she was going with this, I think, is like, and I love this, like, hey, I'm Finn, because now you've now made the brand a person, and it's like, hey, I'm Finn, and I'm like, back to what I said earlier about the email guide. I'm Finn, and I'm gonna be your little email guide here, and I'm gonna take you around. So she says, hey, I'm Finn. It's super nice to shake your hand virtually, and then I always like to add in like social proof right off the bat to just reinforce like who you are. And so like, this is all, I made this up in 2 minutes. Like, this could be way better, but hey, we've been doing this for 10 years now, and we've served 5,000 other pup families across the Denver area. We're sure we have the right thing for you. You want to say something like that to like reinforce, we're legit. We got your back. We're the right brand. You made a wise decision joining our list. And then I just like to set some expectations. Like, hey, honestly, I'm just sending you this email back because we're glad you're here. We're glad you're here. Thanks for joining our list. And I'll always be respectful of your inbox. Val added, I'm a good boy, which adds like a nice little personality to it. Thanks for joining. Talk soon. There's no ask in this email. Right? It's just like, hey, this is who we are. This is what we do. We're not going to be jerks to you. All right. Like, this is all you need to say here. Talk soon, Finn. But then you hit him with the call to action, which Val laid out, which is something like this. P.S. Reply back to me and send me a pic of your dog. I'm serious. We love to profile our new furry friends on Instagram every week. So reply back with a picture and we might feature you. Because now, not only do you go from somebody who you've never talked to, you're going to get responses to that email. Right? You're going to feature people on Instagram. And so now people who maybe 3 days ago had no connection with your brand are now sharing your thing with their friends because you made them feel like a star and they haven't spent $1 with you yet. That's why like this email just sets everything in the right direction.
I love that. And Kevin just made a really good point in the chat. On top of these replies, and then you're starting conversations with your customers right away, you're also now getting user-generated content that can be repurposed across Instagram, across your blog, across all different things. That is what's so special about digital marketing, is that one little thing can turn into a bunch of other little things. That was a really basic way of saying one thing can become so many more things for you in digital marketing, and that's why we love it. So I love this email. I feel like it's at a great place. The only thing it looks like we're missing now is preview text. Val, can you just quickly touch on what even is the importance of preview text here?
Yeah, for sure. So preview text is an extension of the subject line. And when you have especially when you have a short little subject line like fetch your discount, preview text is important to give context. It's the like push over the edge to open the email. You want to say something that will drive the open in both your subject line and your preview text. Preview text also keeps you by filling in that line. If you don't, the email service provider is going to pull in whatever it reads first in the body of the email. And for a lot of us, that's IMG equals and a URL. Because you throw your logo at the top of the email and there's no alt text for it. So that's what it reads. Or it might start reading the email, which is just a waste of your customer's time to have them read it twice. So
yeah, it's like another headline, right?
Yeah.
Like
it's the
I never
subhead.
thought of it. I actually have a question for you. What do you think about, like, what's the right level of sauce, I guess is the right word, to give in the preview text, in the preview line? Like, a lot of people do it, and should it be another subject line? Should it play off of it? Like, what do you like to do?
I think it plays off the subject line. So fetch your discount, you know, you have to come inside to get your treat. Something, you know, where you're
Nice.
playing off
Yeah.
that main subject line, and that encourages them to open it up.
Yeah, I just have seen like some brands like to kind of overdo it in that subject line, and it's like you don't want to be. It's not a place to be more needy. It's a place to like you're basically just getting more real estate, right?
Yep.
And so like you can say your thing in 2 lines as opposed to 1 if you can play it off each other.
Yeah, it's such a valuable space because it's right next to your subject line in the inbox, whether they're on mobile or desktop. And if it gets filled up with the HTML code from the back end of your email, it's just like a real missed opportunity.
Yeah. Love this, guys. Amazing first email. I am so excited. I'm also a little bit sad that now I don't own this shop with my dog. But let's move on to the next email, which is sale announcement. This one's pretty clear, but we're talking, you know, heading into the holidays, you need to make an announcement of your sale to your email list. But I actually feel like this is an email that a lot of people struggle with, because this is the one where you have to finally make the ask, and you're making the ask for them to purchase. You're doing a sale announcement, and so it can be kind of tricky of how do you do this and stand out from the crowd when we talked about sales emails can be kind of bombarding. So I am excited.
Okay, well, first let me start here then, because my real answer, I would add another email before doing my sale announcement, and I would do a pre-sale announcment.
Yeah.
Nice.
And this does a couple things. Number one, it primes people for the sale, right? And so even if it's people on your list, if all of a sudden out of the blue, it is fun to do a flash sale every now and then. But if you just, let's say if this is a promotion that you're planning, the best thing you can do is tell people that it's coming. Every brand does this. You can be in a Whole Foods and you see Amazon telling about pre-sales. That is the level. Like, so I would announce it first. It doesn't even have to have a call to action. It can just be like, look, I love Gymshark. Gymshark has been priming me for this freaking Black Friday, Cyber Monday sale for 8 weeks now. So when they do send the sale email, I'm expecting it, and it makes it a little bit easier of a sale email to send. I think a lot of people struggle with the sale email because it's like, I haven't even told you this thing is coming, and now in this short little email, I have to tell you what it is and why you should buy it. Now it's like, hey, that thing I told you about, it's here, and you can use more of your copy on the actual promo itself.
I think that's such good advice, Dave, and thank you for calling that out, because you're right. And especially with being inundated with all these sales emails, if you get these pre-sale emails, then as a customer, as a consumer, you can start to almost plan and budget and get ready for what sale you're going to do when. I find this true so often where a brand will, like, I'm just scrolling Instagram and all of a sudden they're having a 50% off sale, and I haven't even planned for it. And even though normally I would want to buy that at that price, I'm just not ready for it. And so I just don't end up buying. So I think this is a really good point that we have started talking about. I love watching you guys work right now. It's amazing.
So one thing I'm thinking here with this pre-sale is, prepping your customers is not just saying this sale is coming, especially with Black Friday. People know the sale is coming. So it's not a surprise, but saying like what day, because some people are doing Black Friday early. And then also I think something that's really cool to do in a pre-sale announcement is, here's how you can get the most out of our sale. If you're worried about us selling out of a product, and that's a legit worry, add this email address to your address book. Star our emails if you're using Gmail, or mark it as important. On Friday morning, if you don't see our email by 9 a.m., search this name in your inbox so that you can pull it to the top of your inbox. Just give them those steps that they can use to, give them the steps that they can use to make the most of that sale. And it does wonderful things, again, from a deliverability standpoint, but also just helps them prep to be buying from you. It gets them excited.
Yeah, I love this. And just already looking at, the subject line, I'll kind of keep talking and reading as you guys work. The subject line and
Ellie,
preview text of this
I
is
am on a video
fantastic
call.
already, because you have, subject line, set your alarm for Friday morning. So you're setting expectations like we've talked about. And then preview text will be sitting up waiting for you. Now, something I think Val did here that's really fantastic is, nowhere in this did she say, on Friday, this is a sale. Because then maybe you don't need to open the email. It's like we were talking about with the welcome. If your subject line is just welcome to Base Camp Dog, it gives you the summary of the entire email. There's no reason to open it. If she had said in the preview text, if it had been set your alarm for Friday morning, we're having a 20% off site-wide sale, then you don't really need to keep engaging with those emails until the sale email comes. It almost becomes just an email that doesn't need to exist. So I think that's a really great thing to see there, that you're not giving them everything right away, but you're enticing them to take the next step. So always thinking about emails in steps of micro decisions. So they read this subject line. Do they read the preview text? That's a micro decision that you have to lead them and help them make. And then, is it worth opening? That's a micro decision to be made. And then, is it worth continuing to read and engage and actually get the content into their brain so they know what it is? So right now, the email so far says, "Hey, name, Cooper here. I'm Finn's brother and fellow shop dog." A couple things to note here. One, the customization of this email, with Shopify email, with any plugins, with Privy, with Klaviyo, anything that you're using, you should be able to have this data where you can send it to their actual first name, because again, you're sending to person. This is a human to human interaction. And then I love this continuation of kind of the the dogs being kind of the brand, which you can see right away from our store, from the website. That is the heart of our brand, is actually the dogs themselves. So continuing to bring it through, bringing in another voice too, kind of keeping it fun. And then we've got, in 2 days, our mom, Crispy LaPants, is giving you a huge discount. We've been around this shop for a few years now, and this has never been done before. Love this, because you're saying right up front, we're not teasing them out to then tell them there's a sale coming. We're telling them right up front, hey, this is coming and it's exciting and it's never happened before, so get ready. And so even just in 3 lines, if they say, okay, I'm going to tap out of this email now, they've got all the information they at least need, and we've got it done quickly, but we didn't give away too much right away.
The other thing I want to say is, we're writing text here, and these emails can be done with text, like true text emails, and inline links. They also can be text supported by images. The sale announcement that Dave's writing, we'll talk about in a second, can be largely images. The most important thing that you can do, though, and I want to say this really early on in people's email journey, and I want to say it often, is that you have to consider the accessibility of your emails. An email that is one image and all of the text is on the image and there's no alt text does no good, unless people are very, if people are using screen readers or for any other reason do not have images displayed, it just is an accessibility nightmare. So know that if you have text inside of an image, it's totally great. I love those images, and repeat that text in some way in a separate text block.
Yeah. Okay. Can we stay on text emails for a second, by the way?
Yeah.
I actually think, like, to me, you can also like manufacture a lot of your success with these emails, which is like, if you did a good job priming your list and you came up with a really compelling offer, when your sale is here, you can literally send an email that says, click on this link to get your discount. Because people are expecting, it doesn't matter what you say. It's not going to be that's why, like, I just think you take so much of the pressure off, because on that day, you don't have to rely on it. It shouldn't be the quick, witty, pithy copy that gets you to buy. It should be like the promise, the thing that you're creating, and you've done a good job priming people to do it. And so on the day that you have the sale, you're just like, okay, we're open. Right?
Yep.
Come by now.
Yep. The other thing,
I always think it's more of a, sorry, I always think it's more of just like, you just can't think of just one email. And Val, I know like you love thinking about like whole sequences, and it's like, that's the point, because it's not just going to be one email. And so as I'm typing this email already in my head, I'm thinking this email is going to work, but there's also going to be a whole lot of people who don't buy within this time frame. And so what's my email strategy going to be for them? Because it's not just one email equals one sale. It's like, what's the follow-up email? What's the abandoned cart series? You know, all of those emails, it has a downstream effect.
Yes. It's an overall flow. It's not, even though they're individual campaigns, you want to think about them as a flow, the same way you would think about a post-purchase flow or an onboarding flow, a welcome flow. These, especially when it comes to sales, it's typically 2 or 3, or even a product launch, it's 2 or 3 emails. We're sending different types of emails to engage with different people in different ways. I've given this example before on some podcasts, but Everlane does a great job of this. They'll launch a product on a Thursday, send a big flashy image heavy email about it. Look at our new pants. They're amazing. Here they are. This is what they're going to do for you. Go get them. And then on Sunday, they'll send a paragraph of written text with inline links or hyperlinks in the sentence that say, these are the pants. Here's why you will like them. Here's what other customers are saying about them, and go grab a pair. There's only a few left. So they do a great job of coming to people and meeting people in different ways. It's that thing we learned in school that everybody learns in different ways. And the same is true for email. The other thing I wanted to say about these sales emails is when you are about to bombard your list with multiple emails over a short period of time, give them the option to opt out of those emails. So you can do this in most ESPs, and in Klaviyo, it's a property on your customer profile. And then you're going to, there's some links in the help documentation on how to do that. But you want to give them.
Where does that show up? Is that is that in the footer? It says like unsubscribe, and then it says something different, like unsubscribe just from this.
Yeah. So we, what we actually do it would be in our pre-sale announcement. Hey, if you don't want to get Black Friday emails, we get it. Not everybody wants to hear about our deals this year. Totally fine. You can click this link and we won't send you any Black Friday, but you'll stay on our list and we'll see you afterwards.
Oh, I love that. I'm learning from that was great. Because you know what then I also think you then have permission to send more email, and don't take this the wrong way, but I think like if you've weeded out the people who clearly don't want it, you're like, all right, you're going to get it.
Yep. That's right.
And there's something powerful about this pre-list. It's the same concept. It's like, there's something powerful about like getting people in the frame of mind for what's coming versus like, I don't want to be sold to. And then you get a sales email, that's instant turnoff for the brand.
Yeah. And if you don't offer that unsubscribe from the sales cycle, they're only going to be able to unsubscribe from your entire list. And then you can never talk to them again, because on Friday of Black Friday, they were annoyed. Somebody early on in the chat said they're seeing more unsubscribes because email sends are higher. But if you give them no other option, then their only option is to unsubscribe completely. Maybe you need to create a preference center where they can get 1 email a week from you. Or, get them an opportunity to get out of Black Friday or, a big launch that you're doing. I've seen brands do this around, especially like family related holidays, Mother's Day, Father's Day. A lot of people don't want to engage with those holidays. They don't want the messages of send mom flowers. So, give them the option to not receive those emails.
I think that was such a great point. And I will thank you for all the kind words, guys. I know this format is amazing, right? I'm just sitting here and I'm just listening to you guys talk, total experts. If you guys have any questions while they are typing, I know you guys have been talking a while, so Val, I'll let you get back to writing that email. You guys can keep working on those. If you guys have any questions while they are writing, while we're going through it, make sure to put them in the chat and we'll kind of answer as we go.
I'll walk you through the actual sale announcement that I wrote while Val does that. And then we can go pre-sale sale together. I didn't actually write this out because this is a good example of showing you, right? Like I actually can't write the sale announcement because I don't know what the pre-sale is. And so I think a really simple format that anybody can follow for the actual sales email, assuming you've done a good job priming your audience, is just straight up like, it's here. Like, it's here. Today's the day. The XYZ thing we told you about is here. And so like, I'm just riffing on her thing. She talked about mom. And so I said like, it's here. And then the preview text is, mom said today's the day. Hey, it's here. The thing that we've been telling you about for 6 weeks now is here. The, whatever we call it. And today you can get the offer right to the point, right? We told you about this thing. Here's what it is. It's 30% off site wide, blah, 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 blah. The most important ingredient in this email though, is urgency and scarcity. And this means like, this doesn't mean you have to be sleazy, right? And you have to, there's a lot of people that do fake urgency and fake scarcity. What it means though, is that you should be thinking about the sale and try to stack the deck for your success. And so like, some of the most successful sales are time boxed. And so if people buy right now, this sale is for 1 hour only, right? This sale is for today only. And so always try to find some way for urgency or scarcity. And even if you could bake that into the offer, we've only made 100 of these things, right? That stuff tends to work really well. And then one more reminder of the offer. So like, today's the day, it's here, here's the offer, urgency, scarcity. Okay, just a reminder, today's the, sorry, my thing cut out. I don't know if that happened or not, but today's the day, today's the last day to get, today's the first day to get whatever. Then in the PS, you add a little bit more. You could take this in 2 directions. Number one is you could just go straight up personality. Like, PS, I wrote this, while my 2 dogs were licking my feet. So sorry if there were any typos. And that's just to add a little personality to the sales email to like, take the sting out of it a little bit. Or you can go deeper down the sales approach and say, PS, the first 100 people to get this offer will also get the XYZ thing, and reply back to me if you were one of those people, so I can say thank you. And so now I've like engineered into that. I've set some type of additional urgency and scarcity, some cap. I created more value by giving something away to the first 100. There's something about like incentivizing those early sales. It like becomes this contagious thing when you can get a lot of people buying early. And then the last part of it, reply back to me. Because that's like, I want to create that connection. So if you just bought my thing, I want to like actually say, hey, thank you, fist bump. Like, I appreciate that. And that just creates a great reaction for those first couple people to buy.
I think a lot of brands worry about inbound. That reply, we've now said in these 4-5 emails to reply twice. And when I do that with my clients, we always get pushback, always, from not wanting to receive more inbound emails. It's too much for customer support to handle. We just can't do more inbound. Yeah. And to that I say, why not? Inbound tells you about your customers. It is an opportunity to connect. It doesn't scale. It's not something that you can like put a computer behind. But you want inbound. And if you can't receive more inbound, there's a bigger problem than these emails.
Or like, oh my gosh, God forbid you have the problem of so much inbound that you can't keep up with it. Like, that's what you hire somebody. That's the definition of like growth. That's what you want. I've been on this. I've done this in B2B, B2C, whatever. All the PS is like the most amazing copywriting lesson you can learn. I've hired people from this, partners from this, revenue from this. It's like, you're just missing out. You're missing out an opportunity if you don't do that. Oh, sorry, not the PS, the actual like get managing of the replies. Like, yeah, you might get some noise in there, but what you get is going to be the gold. You're going to find your super fans like from those responses. God forbid you have to spend your day dealing with that.
Not only that, you not only find your super fans, but you get them to write exact copy for you of the way that they think about your brand and they talk about it and the benefits and what they need.
Yeah. So, I just have an example of this. Somebody responded to like one of our emails at Privy, and she said like, oh my God, thank you so much. This app like changed my life. I've been working at home, doing blah, blah, blah. And we just replied back to her and it was like, well, that quote was awesome. Can we put it on the website? And she was like, sure. And okay, boom, there's a quote right there from no additional work.
Yep.
Yeah. Val and I have multiple times said that we are not really copywriters. We are just copy and pasters.
Mm-hmm.
Customer words are going to be the best words you can possibly use. I know we have 15 minutes left until the hour mark. I know we're going to go over. If you guys have to hop off while we're still working on these emails, there will be a recording sent to you, but stick around, and because I feel like we're having such a great conversation, I want to go back and read Val's pre-sale announcement here. So we had talked about subject line and preview text. Now the actual email copy. Hey name, Cooper here. I'm Finn's brother and fellow shop dog. In 2 days, our mom, Crispy LaPants, is giving you a huge discount. We've been around the shop for a few years now, and this has never been done before. I don't know much about computers. I'm all paws, of course. Love this. But I got mom to tell me a few things. So I'm here to tell you how you can get the most of this big day. Again, setting your customers up for success right away. 1, add hello@basecampdog.com to your address book. Start or mark our emails as important. The big day is Friday, so if you don't see your email Friday morning, search your inbox for Basecamp Dog and you'll find us. Again, just making sure people know how to get your emails, how to prioritize your emails, and how to get the most success out of your emails when they do come. Oh, and if you don't want to get emails about our big sale, don't worry, we have unconditional love, remember. You can click here and we won't email you this weekend. See you Friday, Coop. This is just the greatest email based on everything we just talked about. Absolutely love it. And then the sale announcement, Dave already walked us through, so that is great. Val and Dave, do you want to go on to abandoned cart email, or Dave, did you want to write some more?
Oh, let's go.
Let's go. Okay, abandoned cart email. Looks like Val is starting to write this. Dave, can you just give us a little bit of background on this abandoned cart email? What it is, why it's important. I think we all have experienced it before from the consumer side, and so naturally you kind of feel like, do I really need this? But it's a very important email.
Yeah, so I mean, like, you might feel like, do I really need this, because you've gotten a bad one and you've gotten an annoying one. And I think there's 2 ways to think about abandoned cart. Number 1 is like, there's an actual level of people who actually did abandon cart, right? Like they were going to buy something and just left. And, then there's the other people who were like, I was never really buying, but I kind of messed around and, added a $200 pair of Nikes that I don't need to my, and I left. Right. And I think first of all, you have to think about, which audience are you appealing to? But I think the reason you responded that way, Kristen, is like, people have gotten bad. I'm on everybody's email list, and you get all these bad. I'm like, did I even go to your website? And they're like, you left this in your cart. And it's like, here's a $20,000 thing. But I think that's, to me, that's the opportunity, is like, don't roll your eyes and say, well, I don't like those. The opportunity is, how can I make the good version of those? And so like the one that you're going to see from Val is going to actually have personality. It's not just going to say like, looks like did you forget to check out? And here's a reminder of your product. I think like, don't set it and forget it. Like, you should go update those emails, because I get so many of them that it's just literally a picture of the product and it says like, you forgot to check out.
Yeah. And also, how often do we actually forget to check out? Usually there's emails that
no one forgot that they were in the middle of a checkout.
Oh, whoops.
I'm not like picking up the kids after school and be like, dang it, I forgot to check out on gymshark.com. Like, that doesn't happen.
Yeah, no, it's and I alluded to this in the copy here. Every time I look at mom's screen, she has more tabs open than I have paused to count. So I think it's a human thing. Just really with abandoned carts, let's be incredibly helpful versus creepy. So creepy abandoned carts are, I noticed there's something left in your cart.
I saw
you looking, ... Don't do that. So
hey, can I give you an example of that? I want to see your reaction. What about like, I just like to be straightforward.
Hold on, let me finish my drink. Okay.
Go ahead. I just like to be straightforward sometimes. And I'm like, I hate the, like, we saw you looking, but I'll be like, all right, look, I'm emailing you because you were going to buy something and you didn't.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like, and just taking that straight approach. Like, what do you think?
Yeah. And, you can also play on the, look, I know this is an automated email. You and I both know this is an automated email, but we have it in place to help you out. And that's what we're all about, is being useful.
I would do that.
Sometimes
that's like the most evergreen one too. That's great.
Yeah. Though. You're kind of letting your customers in on the joke. You know, you're saying, yeah, we all know what this really is, but there's a reason we're doing it, and it's here to help you. I am always a fan of the straight shooter approach. We got it. I got those words out.
One like in one way, like similar to abandoned cart, is like when you can resend to your email list of people who didn't open or didn't take advantage of the offer. I kind of use the same language there, which is like, all right, look, I know you saw the sale, you opened it, but you didn't take advantage of it, right? Like it's okay to be straightforward and try to go there. That's way better than the, like, we caught you looking, whatever, weirdo.
Yeah. Yes, don't be creepy. So let's read what Val wrote here. I knew when I was putting together these outlines that squirrel was going to end up in this as a subject line. It's perfect. Squirrel, I get distracted. You too? Let's work together on staying on task. Again, with the subject line and preview text, I think it's important to note that you don't actually know what this email is right away. It's not the same as every other abandoned cart of, we saw you looking at our products, or oops, you dropped something in your cart, or it seems like you forgot to check out. Again, this is getting you to open the email because it doesn't look like every other abandoned cart email out there, and it's really focused on the customer. So then, hey name, looks like your product was left in your cart. Every time I look at mom's screen, she has more tabs open than I have paused to count. So I think that's a human thing. If you get distracted, I'm going to sit on your cart and protect it for the next 24 hours. After that, I need to go for I have 3 of my dogs in here, so I'm not going to say this word out loud. WALK. If you need another word.
My dog can spell that word. My dog knows out what it is spelled out.
If you need a TREAT on task, here's a code for free shipping. Ship it. Come on over, Cooper. Just a fantastic email.
I put that in there, that code, because it's what brands want to do. I don't believe that your customers need a coupon code in order to finish their checkout. Sometimes they just need to be reminded that they were in the middle of this process, or, checkouts often have 2 and 3 steps, and they might have thought they were actually done. And so if you actually have that experience in your brand that a lot of customers are thinking they made it all the way to the checkout and they didn't, you can say that in your abandoned cart email. We hear a lot that there's one last button that needs to be pressed. And so, go ahead and go back to your cart. It's not quite done, but we saved it for you. It's not necessarily that they need a coupon code. If you want to do it because it's what everyone does and you feel like you need to do that, do it. But it's not necessarily what they need.
Yeah. I want to propose something to you, and I want to see what you think about it. I know, with Shopify, you can have a discount code set, and then you can just create a link where you go to it and then that checkout automatically populates it. Would there ever be a use case for almost surprising your customers with that by not including this line with the discount code, but then sending them to a link where then their cart actually populates with a code and they're like, whoa, I got a discount code on that. Is that something that you could see working?
I can, if the code has relevance to that experience. So like came back would be a code that would work there. But it needs to be something that makes them realize that that's why it's there. If it's a random discount, they aren't going to understand the connection.
Yeah. I love that. Okay, so now we are on to last call sales reminder. Really good note. I'm guessing, Dave, you put this in. Only send to non-purchases. Explain.
You're giving me credit? I didn't write that.
I wrote that. I wrote that.
Nice, Val. What do you mean by that? Can you explain what you mean by that?
Yeah. So a lot of brands want to send last call to everyone because even purchasers might want to purchase again. It's unlikely, and you're more likely to annoy your purchasers than to get them to buy again. So if you want to get those purchasers to buy again, send them a different email. But for non-purchasers, the people who have not completed their checkout, people who didn't even abandon a cart yet, let them know. Some people are procrastinators and need to know, like, hey, you've got 3 hours left. The other thing I want to say about these last call sales reminders is if there are 3 hours left, there are 3 hours left. Do not the next day say, guess what?
Surprise.
Sale extended, because you can do that once, but if you do it time and time again, your customers aren't going to honor your sale times. Let me give you an analogy. My daughter is 3.
Every night before bed, I tell her I'm going to read her 2 books. Every night after 2 books, she says, just one more book, Dad. Just one more book, Dad. I read a 3rd book. Now I can't read her 2 books because she knows that every time it's 2, she can get 3 and she can get 4. It's the same damn thing with your list. If you really don't stick to it, that's also why I love really short, instant urgency, because it teaches people, well, that was real. Do a 1-hour sale to your VIPs because you can. That stuff really does work.
Yes. We're all just 3-year-olds at heart.
We really are.
Giant 3-year-olds.
Like we know what we're
Very
doing
true.
past 3. If you guys had been listening to the podcast, and we actually talked to Jeff Staple on an episode, and he's in the sneaker culture, streetwear, and they do these flash sales so well, and they drive. I mean, you've probably seen these videos of like absolute fandom outside of stores over a sneaker drop, or like a Supreme drop. And the way they do that is because they honor those sales windows, and they're very strict about it. And they say, we've made this many are going to get out, and we're going to honor it, so that when those sales come and those hypes come, people know that that's very real, and those are really limited time frames that you can actually get something. So then people they're going to prepare for it. They're going to get ready, and then they're going to go purchase it. I see someone just asked about the podcast. So Resilient Retail is our podcast that we are kind of basing all of this around. You can find it on any streaming service, Apple Podcasts, Spotify. Also, if you go to shopify.com/resilient, actually, Kevin, will you just drop those links into the chat? There we go. Or Andrew got you and Kevin got you. Thanks, guys. Oh, and I wanted to also add on this, actually sticking to the time frame of your sale thing. If you do the sale extended, etc., you're also creating more problems for yourself, because if somebody misses that sale extended, then you're going to have a lot of CS complaints coming in, or people saying, oh, could I just get it now? Could I get it now? And then as you teach your customers that that's the behavior they can do, then that encourages it. So you want to just make sure you're, like Dave said, guiding your customers to do the things that you want them to do, not the things that are going to cause more work for you, because I know none of you have time for extra work.
Yeah, this is a good email. Textbook. It's 2 sentences. Pay attention. 2 sentences. You don't need to write 1,000 words because you've already been talking to people. And so this email is great.
Yeah. All right. Let's read this email. Last call. Sales reminder. Only send to non-purchasers. Very important. Nothing like getting advertised for something that you've already bought, which happens to all of us on different channels. Subject line, 3 hours left. You in? Preview text, this once in a lifetime sale is coming to an end. Pretty easy, pretty standard, exactly what you need to tell them. Crispy here. Ben and Coop have been good boys and told you all about our sale happening right now. Check it out. The computer will automatically shut down this sale at midnight CST, and we believe in honest marketing, so we won't be extending this offer. Go grab your gear now. Like Dave said, textbook, short, everything you need to say. You're setting expectations and setting them up for success.
Yeah. And Dave's adding in opportunities to add your imagery into this email. I think it's great. Make sure that the message of the sale is ending is crystal clear up front, and then add your images to support that message.
Love it. Dave, I see you added one more little email that you want to cover in here. Do you want to?
I just added like 3. These are kind of like notes. And so like, I think just like Val sent an email to people who didn't purchase, I always think same logic for the welcome email. I think sending a great thank you email to people who did purchase, especially something like this, a sale, right? Because when you're around Black Friday, Cyber Monday, there's going to be a lot of people who are coming just for the sale. And so you don't want to just have them, buy and then leave. And so this is an opportunity to really win them from a brand perspective. Maybe that was the first time. So sending a great thank you email, but also this is your ask. Send us a picture with your thing on, like this is the opportunity to get that user generated content. And then I also think there's just like this mindset to have with email, which is like, it's infinite, right? It is like, Val and I could sit here for an hour and come up with 100, this could be a 500, word, the 500 variation email stream. And that's the mindset, which is like, okay, now that they left me a review and said, thank you. Now what? Oh, could they tell their friends, or could they, do this other thing? It's this mindset of this endless, funnel with your email.
And it's the endless conversation that I think you're talking about, Dave. It's not endless opportunities to sell them. It's, them continuing to purchase your product is one level of growth. Another level of growth is them telling their friends about your product, is them sharing on their social channels about your product. That, to me, you can have one purchaser keep coming back, or you can have one purchaser come back over and over again and also bring 10 friends who bring 10 friends who bring 10 friends. So, it's not just about they purchase and then they go on your, hopefully not still called blast list, but they start to get your, regular sales emails, your blog posts. That is one way to go, and layer in these opportunities to continue the conversation. Don't just stop when they pay you.
I love that. And we talk about this all the time on the podcast, and we talk about omni-channel commerce. We talk about different channels working together. At the end of the day, what it comes down to is this mindset of a relationship and a holistic customer journey, that every time you're talking to them, it's adding to the experience that they've already had. And so making sure those new touch points make sense to that. We've got a couple questions coming in. Christy said, a thought about abandoned cart email. Ask them to give you feedback about products or site if they're not going to buy. Is that a good idea? Can you have another ask in that? Or do you want to stay focused just on the abandoned cart?
I think that it's a really good idea to ask for that kind of feedback. It helps you guide your product journey, especially if in retail. A lot of times we are our first best customers, and we build what we're building for ourselves to solve our own problem. But then you grow an audience, and so that problem might change over time. The needs of the audience change as the audience gets larger. So hearing back from them why they aren't making the purchase. You see this a lot in SaaS, where they'll, you end a trial and you don't convert to a paid account, and they'll send a follow-up email a few days later saying like, hey, just wanted to know if you have feedback on why the trial didn't work out. So I think one opportunity that e-commerce has is you all are using SaaS platforms. Go look at the emails that Shopify and Klaviyo and MailChimp are sending you and see what kind of impact that has and how you can replicate it on the e-commerce side.
I think that is great advice. We are going to kind of start wrapping up, guys, because we are 3 minutes past the hour. I have absolutely loved this. I hope that, Dave, you got to jump. See ya. I'll let them know about your amazing book. Thank you so much for everything, Dave. Yes, so we are going to kind of wrap up now. We got a couple little bonus things for you guys that I want to show you. First up, it's been an hour, guys. My words are losing it. We got two bonuses. 25% off all Resilient Retail merch at our shop, resilientretail.shop. Use the code WORKSHOP. I am also going to send this link into our channel here, so you guys can go straight to the shop and that discount code will populate for you. We've also got some new merch coming in the next couple of days, so keep a lookout for that. I will say people have been loving the hats and the shirts the most. And then second, Privy actually has an e-commerce marketing handbook, which is an incredible resource. Our own president of Shopify, Harley, wrote the forward, so you know it's incredible. It's only $15 and they're offering you $5 off. That's at shop.privy.com and their code is earlybf, and I have a link for that one as well. But this is a great resource to get to print out. Val, do you still have yours right on your desk? You can wave it up in front of us right now.
Yeah, I've got it right here. I have a chapter in this book, and it actually talks about that onboarding. Someone really early on in the chat was asking about how do we walk through onboarding, and this talks through the dinner party strategy, which is a way to do that. So what other emails besides the welcome email? It's in this book. So go grab it.
Yes, and Val's face is nice front and center on the book, so be sure to go get that. Thank you guys so much for coming today. This has been amazing. Our first ever live event for Resilient Retail. Loved it. Thank you, Val, for all your expertise. Like we said this whole time, guys, we will be sending out the recording of this as well as all the emails we just wrote and some notes on top of that. So other than that, we will see you guys on the podcast Tuesdays and Thursdays on Resilient Retail. Have a good day.
Bye.